Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's your man, DTong. We've got a special guest here on this episode, Baz Porter, a visionary idea, and he's really a success story within. You can learn more about him at his website, bazporter.com. We've got a lot of questions. He's got a lot of things going on in his life right now, including a free online event that we'll be discussing, which is held September 12th, 2020. We'll also get into his rebranding of Baz Porter, a visionary idea. Talk about some of his services, his travels, people that have influenced him and impacted him along his journey, some of his struggles, and many of his triumphs. He's got many titles. He's a motivational speaker, thought leader, British Army veteran, self-mastery mentor, transformational coach. He's also an energy healer, and most of all, he's creating PTSD awareness and building a community to support veterans and humanity. Baz, welcome to the show. Appreciate you coming here, sir.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, Dan. Thank you for having me on the show. It's amazing to speak to somebody, also a veteran. So I like interaction. I'm trying to spread a word of truth, if you like, that has been swept under the carpet for so long. And it's obviously the interaction with PTSD versus spirituality. Hence why I've got the free event happening very shortly, the 12th of September. But my awakening, my journey through the hardships and to what I am becoming today, gradually, it's a process, is I just want people to wake up to whatever their truth is and have a voice like I do now. I have a voice because I'm working to create that platform. But I create the platform not for me, I create it for other people to have their opinion. The community that I'm building, it's slowly getting bigger, is one of a base sovereignty that everybody is equal. No one is above each other. It is the same, and it is also going to be run by the foundational members. So if you want to write a blog, you can write a blog. You'll be named in the blog. If you want to have an interview, hold an interview. You can hold an interview. You can have a meditation corner, and you can do a meditation for the day. There's going to be, in the future, I want to hold events, so it's all self-sustaining. The money gets put back in for the people. So that every year or every month, there's going to be a prize draw in the future. Whether it'll be a cash prize, or we'll put people on a cruise, or give them something they haven't got, like pay their rent. Something that simple, along with supporting the veterans who need the support through alcoholism, giving them the skills if they don't have them to build their own houses, the trades, the dying trades such as electricians, plumbers, bricklayers, carpenters. All these major trades that people are not going into so much now. Hands-on work is incredibly therapeutic. You'll find 80% of veterans are hands-on people. That's why they went into the relevant force, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, or even Coast Guard, civilian forces, the police force, the ambulance service, the fire service. These are hands-on people, a lot of them. So they learn by using their hands, practical skills. So if they can wield a rifle or a hand grenade to a hose to fight a fire, they can learn a skill, a trade for them to sustain themselves in the future. Then there comes the alcoholism and the drug issues, the addictions. Because the PTSD gets hold of them, we need to speak to the people who have this and get it out so they have a voice. Because I want the community to be self-sustaining so they can get on the phone if they need myself personally, or they can get on the phone if they need another member of the community that is equipped to listen, to hold a safe space. I believe holding safe space is so important for people. A lot of people these days look over the fact that people don't want to speak because they don't feel safe. They feel anxiety, and anxiety is caused predominantly by not feeling safe. And there are veterans in the community that I know of that I can and are more than equipped to listen and also understand where they're coming from. It's not easy for anybody, let alone a veteran, to even open up and say, I've got a problem. I don't feel right. I'm not myself. Can someone help me? Because we're proud people.
Well, and usually that's all it takes is to have someone out there to maybe reach their hand forward, because there's not a lot of people doing that. So they don't want to bother people. They see people doing their own thing in their own life. And, one thing that you do, instead of just kind of pointing out the problem, which is what a lot of people do, is you provide the solutions. You've got solutions to their problems based on your experience and more, and, your knowledge and your research, et cetera.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I remember being found on a roundabout because I had an overdose of drugs. And literally, it was 3:00. It was a miracle that I was even found. I woke up, hospital. I had drips in me. I'd had a major overdose. I had my stomach pumped. I woke up with some people around me, and I didn't know where the hell I was, what had happened, who I was even. And they told me afterwards where I was found, what happened, and then I sort of pieced things together, and I just wasn't me. And that was just one instant that I tried to kill myself because I could not cope at the time with the amount of shame that I had for the things I'd done. And only in facing the long, arduous task of facing myself at a core level did I heal and bring into balance what I was. Because it wasn't me, it was the job I was doing. I was told to do this, and I did it without prejudice and very, very effectively. The journey to awakening to who you are, or what the condition is partly facing everything you've done with the right guidance, with the right people around you, in a safe community, in a safe place, where you're not judged, you're not looked down upon. There is no judgment, nothing. You are one of the family, and we treat everybody equally. We have the skills, I know I certainly do, have the skills to look at things differently without judgment and offer tangible solutions to change your perception on situations internally, gradually at a very, very slow rising pace, but one to suit the individuals. There is no time limit on healing or bringing things into balance, however you want to look at this. I believe bringing into balance is a better way of putting things, because I believe healing is a Band-Aid. It does work. It's like putting a plaster on yourself or a Band-Aid on your cut. It's not the cut that heals. It's not the Band-Aid that heals it. It's your own skin, our own body that heals the wound. The Band-Aid just covers it up so you don't see it.
Well, yeah, and they're in their own thought process, and a lot of people just don't trust or can't trust their own instincts. They listen to other people's input more than they listen to themselves. They always got that contradiction around, or there's a compromise there. So, they've always had to make a decision based on somebody else being impacted or somebody else having a say in what they want to do. Or, they've got that doubt in their head because somebody else has created that in them, by doubting them, and then they doubt themselves. So, and something that you do as well is provide some healing energies, some positive vibes and positive energies, and really just good vibes, period. What did you learn that from the last brand that you had, which was Light Angel? Is that right? Before what it is now, BazPorter.com, a visionary idea?
Yeah, I mean, I was the Light Angel for 3 years, 2.5, nearly 3 years. I was following a pathway called the Light Angel. I believed at the time, it was a spiritual, just only a spiritual journey. Only very in the last 6 months or so, have I sort of branched out into other things. I've become a lot more aware that my message has got to be changed. So it's not just spiritual, it's adaptable for everybody, as I am open to everybody coming in and helping, supporting humanity's ascension or healing process. Spirituality is just a part of what I do, but I'm human. I'm not anything. I don't claim to be somebody I'm not. I'm Baz Porter. I'm a veteran. I have some gifts. I have intuitive abilities. I know things before they sometimes happen. I can tune into people's energies and find out things and give advice, but it's always impartial advice. It's not, this is going to happen, set in stone, etc. And I try and give advice from a higher perspective because I've lived a different journey than most. I've been to 11 operational tours in the world. I did 11 operational tours in the world, from Bosnia all the way through to Afghanistan before it was publicized on the news. So I've done a wide range of stuff within my military career. And now I use some of that information, experience to pass on knowledge, spirituality, encompassing life, because I'm a true believer that there's no qualification like life. You can't go and get a degree in life, but it's the most prolific and understanding, empathetic journey in the world. You can't go to college or university to get this degree. You have to literally live it and hope and work at it a lot. So I use a lot of that with my spirituality and encompassing my military career, my DJ career, which I loved doing. I was also a gardener for 5-6 years. So I did a lot of grounding. I've had everything encompassed into one.
You seem like a good pattern recognizer, like you talked about before, about seeing things kind of before they come, or kind of predicting the future in a way with that skill or with that gift or whatever you would call it. But that you're kind of an observer, you kind of sit back, watch things happen, and be able to recognize what's going to happen next based on what's already happened.
Yes, very much so. I mean, people try and define spiritual teachers or spiritual leaders as something. I don't believe we are to be defined. We are just here to support humanity and pass on the message through experience. You don't get to this stage in life and doing what I'm doing through an easy ride. And it's difficult to trying to explain to somebody what I see or how I see it, because there are no words. It's just an energy type that you see and you try and translate. Some people see it in color, some people see it in vibration, some people feel things. Me, I just get intuition. So I allow things to come through me. But it's truth. It's a case of self-trust, and it's very prolific and fundamental in the journey through the healing journey. I suppose it's starting to trust who you are.
Well, and as we're raised, we've always got somebody around us or supporting us, whether it's your mom, your dad, your family, your brothers, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, onto spouses, and then as you get older, then kids can, come back and start supporting their moms and dads. And, it just seems that until you're out on your own, and you really can't discover like the real truth of you, like really what you want without all of that around you kind of influencing and impacting, that feeling of just nobody around, nobody telling me what to do, nobody dictating me and me not dictating anybody else. Let me figure this out.
The moment you step out on your own, it obviously gets lonely, but your whole perception of your life changes. Your whole world changes because you've got to be responsible. That's a scary thing in some people's views. Oh no, I'm responsible for having something to eat for myself, having a roof over my head, having a job, getting money. I think that freedom and truth is the heart and root of any spiritual journey. People can dress it up how they wish, but from where I stand and the journey that I have been on, right or wrong, I don't believe there is right or wrong. It's just a pathway. Truth and freedom is so profound. I mean, from a motivational speaking point of view, if I can portray truth, freedom on a stage or on a platform, wherever that platform is, That's part of the task I've got to do. And see people resonate with that, they take something good away from it. I've done what I was supposed to be doing. And the transition from the White Angel to Baz Porter, the business has changed structure, but I'm still the same person. I'm just more developed. And the more, as a journey should become, the more you go on, the more developed you should become.
So a mission, a brand, and a purpose, and you put your name behind it.
Yeah, exactly that. And I pride myself in having the results that I have because it's truth. Because I know, I don't just believe it works. I actually know it works. I've done it. I've lived it. And I'm the one now transform my life to get where I am today. Now I want to pass that forward to help other people.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we've got special guest Baz Porter here with us, motivational speaker, PTSD healer. If you got PTSD or know somebody who does, he's offering a free event. It's an online event. It's going on September 12th, 2020. So right around the corner, you can go to bazporter.com for more information, BAZPORTER, bazporter.com. He's also on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, search Baz Porter. Baz, you're giving a lot of people hope and you're empowering them too, and just that alone, good things are going to come back to you, sir. But I mean, really you are doing it not just for, veterans in your own country, but veterans around the world. I mean, you're trying to change their life.
And have their involvement, wake up in the morning and go, I've got purpose. I feel a part of something. And then speak to people about this. I know a guy called Baz Porter. He's building a community. This is what he does 5 days a week. Sit with a meditation in the morning. Well,
that's because you're inspiring people with your action too. When they see you do it, then they feel inspired to do it. And so they're like, hey, Baz is doing it. I got to get in gear. I got to get moving. I got to get going in my own life because he's setting the standard, whether it's like a client and a coach or a kid and a parent. They're kind of looking up to you to see what you're doing to try to help impact their life in a positive way.
That's exactly it. And that if I can do that for one person, just one, every single day, I've done my bit. I've had an impact. And that's all I want is to have a positive impact. There are so many people out there trying to do this for the wrong reasons, and they don't get anywhere no matter how they try. And it doesn't get supported by the universe because it's not for the right reasons. I'm being, believe it or not, supported by the universe. I've traveled 2 world tours helping people, went around the world twice healing people. I've met hundreds of thousands of people. They don't even know my name, but I've helped them heal from something, whether it be a broken bone, a broken back, cancer, PTSD, depression, someone to talk to. And I did it all on donations.
Well, that means you have something of value to give to people, and so as you move forward, you'll start to see more donations probably, and from different platforms, different avenues, different ways that you can monetize your skills in the way that you want to in the, it's 2020. So there's a lot of different ways that you can offer your services in different places that could be of need to so many people across the world. Being able to reach that platform is just amazing in itself. So, and as you move forward and you get more notoriety, you start to get compared to other people moving forward. I mean, what are maybe some of the motivational speakers or some of your mentors or some people that you're compared to, or people kind of go back and say, you know what, you remind me of?
I've been compared to the likes of Panache Desai, who is another thought leader. I've been compared to the likes of Joe Dispenza, Eckhart Tolle, because of the teachings and the knowledge that I have. These are major players who have a huge platform, and I've been compared like the new voice to come through. The discipline, the time, and the persistence. It takes patience and persistence to do all this.
It's preached everywhere, but I mean, that's really the key is, just having the patience and persistence. But, you got to put in that work every single day towards your dreams and goals and towards, what you're trying to pursue. Otherwise, you're going to lose that momentum, because a lot of people right before they're about to catch that momentum, they give up or they quit, which is always definitely not the way to go.
Having the knowledge and then having the confidence behind you to say, actually, I'm ready for my next stage. I no longer accept the person that I am. It doesn't resonate with me anymore. I want to change and make them positive steps to change. And it's a very scary journey to go, actually, no, I don't want that. I don't accept that. There must be more to life.
Yeah, you're kind of making a new identity to the world. So you're scared how people are going to react. What are they going to say? Is it going to work? And that's what we talked about a little bit ago. You got to trust yourself, have that faith, and kind of claim it.
I am. It's a statement to the world, a statement to your universe. And it's also an absolute statement. It's not, please, sir, can I have some more? It's, I am doing this. It's a commitment to you. Whatever comes next after that is the absolute. I am doing this, whatever this is. I am committing to myself. I am committed to love. I am committed to a journey. Whatever it is, it's got to be a positive statement. And it's about who you are internally. Nothing good comes easy or quickly. But once it does happen, it's a miraculous turnaround. You start seeing life in a completely different view. One perception changes into another completely. And then magic happens. Your own alchemy, you decide within yourself, that frequency within inside you changes. It raises, and you decide, I am enough. I am safe and I am worthy. End. Period. Nothing more. And you evolve.
Listen to the man, Baz Porter. We're having a great conversation here. You're tuned into DTongRadio. You can find Baz at his website, bazporter.com. When we come back, we're going to talk about his free online event coming up September 12th. Go to bazporter.com to learn more, and we'll be right back to talk about it right here on DTongRadio. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're just getting here, we've got special guest Baz Porter with us right now, and we're going to get into really why he's here, and that's to talk about this upcoming online free event. It's September 12th, 2020. You can register at bazporter.com, and he's putting together this event. It's called Overcoming PTSD and Embracing Spirituality. He's going to talk about it a little bit here, and you can also learn more at his website, bazporter.com. He's on Instagram, bazporter40. And Baz, I think this free event is something that a lot of people can really use. First of all, it's free, and it's online. So, basically people that are at home maybe have a little anxiety or, aren't really about being around crowds, things like that, make them a little bit more comfortable into entering in what you're offering them, and that's to join the community that you're building. You're talking about veterans around the world, not just in your own country. And I think that reaching out that way helps people realize that they're not the only ones. There's a lot of other veterans around there in different countries, and sometimes we forget about them. And, you do online events all the time and you speak in person and stuff. But, this one, again, really hits home because you've suffered PTSD. You have the experience. You've had some fallbacks and you've overcome it, and you can help other people do the same. So if you could, sir, talk a little bit about the event and what it's going to offer and what you're going to cover and things like that.
Yeah, the title says it all, really. I decided to do this event in the current climate of COVID and no one able to move or do things. But I also wanted to do it as part of the rebrand to establish a bond with people and give them free information. I believe that this information that we all have inside us needs to be unlocked, and I believe a lot of it should be given away as freely as possible. The way I've done this on this occasion is to start a free online event on the 12th of September at 6 p.m. PST. It's 2 hours, and it's 2 hours of me presenting on a video on a Zoom call. So if you haven't got Zoom, please download it. It's going to be about my journey, how I healed in depth from certain aspects, especially the addiction side of things, facing who I actually was, understanding myself on a core level, and then paying a lot of free advice and tips, really good information that some people overlook, but it's delivered in a way that people can take something away from it.
Well, and really, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that suffers from it, right? I mean, it could be a relative or a family member or somebody that just maybe wants to be educated or is concerned about somebody that they know.
Well, I've got everybody. I've got family members. I've got people who have lived in the veterans communities who've dealt with PTSD themselves. I've got people who have got PTSD or are currently healing from PTSD. I've got people who have got no idea what's going on, but just want to help, just want to be a part of the community and have an input. So the diversity of everything is forming from what people want and what people want to put into something. But the beauty about this, and I feel very passionately and strongly about this, you get to choose what you do. Whether you know somebody of it's who's had a mental illness such as PTSD, such as depression, such as trauma, whatever it is, if you want to have a part in that, if you want to have a part in something that is going to be a household name, I want this to be a household name, Baz Porter, I want to be like Persil or Fairy Liquid eventually. I want people to go, I know that Baz. He's a crazy, crazy guy who has some really a really messed up story, but he's doing good. I want that, and I want people to have the same involvement as I do, to have a transparent relationship. Pick up the phone to me, say, hi, can we have a chat? Give me an email, and myself or one of the team will email you back. It's that transparent. If they can't help you, they'll pass the phone on to me or pass the email on to me. I will personally phone you up and spend an hour or 2 hours, whatever it is, to make you feel better, because that's what I do. I'm constantly on the phone. It drives my other half absolutely mad because I'm always on the phone. I've noticed a little pattern with what I've done over the past few years. The people that aren't supposed to be with you fall away. They're not supposed to be on that cycle. And the people that are stay, and they come back, and they understand, they hold space, they listen. And it's them people that I love working with, but I also understand that the people that fall away have something to learn, something to experience. And that's also important to understand, that people do have to experience some things in life in order to learn a lesson. I find very, very quickly in a lot of the things that I do, and the clients and people that come towards me, we all have something to learn from each other. I learn every day from other people. I don't know it all. I pick up things because I'm human, and I like to learn. I like to invest in people and invest in energy. So I take something away. People teach me things every single day about humans and how they work, how they operate, because everyone is an individual. As you said earlier on, people are linked, people are so closely knitted, but we've all got that individuality about ourselves. And having the awareness that, yes, we're all very similar, but we're all very unique at the same time.
Yes, sir. I definitely agree with that. Baz Porter, BazPorter. That's who we're here with right now. Go check out his website, bazporter.com. We're talking about his upcoming online free event, September 12th, 2020, Overcoming PTSD and Embracing Spirituality. And, that's one thing that, once you fix yourself, it can kind of overlap into your relationships. A lot of people with PTSD or mental health issues, it kind of affects their relationships with other people, whether trying to start a relationship or maintain one and continue one and keep it healthy. It's kind of affects everything around you. So if you're doing good, then the chances are that your relationships are doing well.
Oh, 100%. The relationship between yourself and it's closely tied with everybody around you, because the first and foremost best relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. If you're not happy with you, how can you expect to be happy with anybody else? And a lot of relationships, whether it be friendships or a love relationship or partnership, fail because you're not happy inside with what you have within you. A lot of the people, what I get, people coming towards me saying, I need some support, I need something to advice, stems from the fact that they are not happy internally, and they haven't addressed something within inside them. So it's having a manifestation of a partnership breakdown, whether it be in family. I get people who have had family disagreements, family breakdowns, because they can't wrap their head around something that they're going through and they can't speak about it. I get people who are going through divorces or a girlfriend, boyfriend, or a partnership breakdown because they can't speak freely how they wish to. Relationships with yourself are very, very important. This has been more profound and more observed in this time of COVID from March all the way up to present day, because you've got no option but to face who you're with. You've been pinned down in your own homes, and you can't escape where whereas before you were going out to work to escape. You're going out for 8 to 10 hours of the day to escape your partner because you were more happy working at work than you were at home. So it's a vicious cycle. But now, because of the current situation in the whole world, you've been locked down. You've been made to go to work at home. The divorce rate is starting to rise. The birth rate will rise in this time next year, virtually. That will be huge, the birth rate. The population there'll be a population growth. You'll have people, divorce lawyers will be fully booked for the next 2 years because they can't.
Well, and also people just aren't as grateful as they should be. So a lot of people put themselves in situations, they're bitter, they're mad, they're angry. They've grown into a certain scenario in a life that they're not proud of, they're not happy with. And so, just looking around and seeing the things they don't have instead of seeing the things they have, to be able to put that in perspective, and people like you can help out, So, I think being grateful is probably part of that.
Yeah, gratitude is a key word in what I do. Gratitude and abundance. The gratitude comes, and it's an amazing point you just made there, Dan. It's you cannot go through life if you're not grateful for what you already have. People have a misconstrued mindset about what gratitude is, what abundance is. Abundance is being grateful for what you already have, because with that you are grateful for what you have, which has the vibration of attracting more. Gratitude for the little things, the people in your life, which were not, if they weren't in your life, if they were removed, you wouldn't have that connection. Life becomes very, very lonely without connection. In a world full of chaos, madness, we all have to have a connection. So be grateful for every little thing, whether it be the food on your plate, to the water, to the cup of coffee, to the people in your life. The more you are grateful and live in that frequency and thought of gratitude for everything, the better quality of life you will have long term. If you don't take things for granted, you are grateful for everything. The moment you take something for granted, the moment you stop being grateful for every little thing, is when ego starts, and it leads to a darker road, a longer journey, if you like. And only looking back in the journey do I actually realize how far I've actually come. In 2014, I was homeless. I was living out of a car, and at Christmas Day, I cooked a bacon sandwich on the engine of my car, and I was actually grateful for. Yeah, I was grateful for, and that was my lowest point while I was living in the UK, of sort of where I got to, where I just thought there must be more to life than this. And I made a conscious decision, and that was an extremely powerful turning point for me. Christmas Day alone.
Can you talk on that a little bit, like while you're putting the sandwich together and, that moment and what's going through your head and, How do you really feel at that time?
Yeah, I mean,
Probably wasn't the first time you've cooked on it, obviously.
no. I'd been homeless for about 4 months. I was going through a relapse of PTSD. I thought the world was against me, and my family somewhat disowned me at the time. And I was alone. I felt so isolated. And as I was cooking this bacon sandwich, I'm thinking, really? This is it? This is the rest of my life? And I realized something triggered in the back of my head. No, I'm not accepting this. And I tried so hard. I was a sort of setback. I had a job before this. I lost the job because of the winter. It was a gardening job, and I got laid off because of the winter. Because I couldn't pay my rent, I got kicked out, so I was living in my car. There was a series of events that happened to me leading to this, and I just thought, no, this is it. Wow, what have I become? I'm a decorated veteran of 9 years, and then all of a sudden I'm on the street. But I realized something. It wasn't alone. And I realized then there was thousands of other people like me. I wasn't the only one. But, I mean, it was minus 16 or 14, I think it was. UK, I don't know what that is, Fahrenheit. I can't even remember. Cold. It was snow on the ground. I was a Mark IV polo, red polo, and I was cooking this bacon sandwich, and I was grateful I had the bacon, and I was grateful I had the rolls to go with the bacon. And I'm sat there thinking, wow. And that's when I chose something within myself, and it all became, for me personally, it came down to choice. And the choice was, I'm no longer accepting this to be part of my life. And I made a decision on Christmas Day in 2014. I set about changing it. And through a course of a few years to where I am now, I changed it, and I am changing it. I now live in a beautiful place, 30 seconds up from a beach. I have a beautiful wife. I have some wonderful people around me. Some are close friends, some are close acquaintances. But I love what I do now. And I've put the effort in personally, going back when I was committing suicide on the drugs, the alcohol, the addiction, coming through all that, going through that episode that I had in 2014 to 2015, healing for that, realizing my own true potential and choosing me for the first time in 2014. I actually chose myself. And that was, for me, that was so profound in that moment of saying, I no longer accept this present state of being as all there is, because there isn't. And it's taken me 6 years to get here. I know, 2014 to 2020, 6 years. Yes, it has been 6 years, but in the whole general scheme of things, it doesn't take long, because there's no such thing such thing as time. Doesn't exist. And I've met some really, really genuine people on my journey. I've met some complete, really nice people who mean well. And they have been my inspiration. Believe it or not, my wife, who I've got married to, who I met on one of my world tours, and we went for 4 days. A long story. I went to Australia for 3 months and then came back to the US. I didn't know whether I was staying or going. It was a last minute thing. We got married, and I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy, but I've had to put that work in internally. I've not relied on someone to make me happy. I've done the work within me, and I try and pay that forward every single day. My wife, bless her, is one of my biggest inspirations to everything that I do. She is, and she sometimes looks at me going, "Really, you're doing that today, Baz? Why?" But we have a very, very good communication. We have a very good partnership. And most importantly, it's an equal partnership. There's no one above each other. You will do this, etc. You will do that. Right. You have an equal partnership. I believe.
Well, and you also represent each other well, and you're kind of pushing forward to where you're proud of each other instead of like, no, don't do that. Like, why are you doing that? It's going to be embarrassing to me and my family. And instead you're doing things to help and move forward and impact humanity in a positive way. So there's encouragement there.
Yeah, and we are very, very, very much on the same level like that. I'm proud of her. She is probably one of my biggest fans, or the biggest fan I have. And she inspires me daily to do better, because that's why I do it. It's because of other people. And she's instrumental in my journey as I'm instrumental in hers and many other people's. But I recognize within myself this wouldn't be possible. The life I have today, although very simple, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not rich, but I get by. And I get by because I accepted in 2014, and I chose in 2014, I wasn't going to accept that. Living in a car for the rest of my life, scraping anymore. I refused to accept it. And it was that decision that I made for myself in 2014. That moment of, no, this is not it. And it was do or die for me. Ever since then, I've either gone full in or I've not bothered. Everything I've done. I mean, I'm going skydiving. I've been skydiving for years. Next Sunday. But my adrenaline rush comes every single day by having an inspirational story and paying that forward to inspire and change someone's life. But I want to provide the other thing, looking into the future as well with the community. I want to provide the funding for them to get the education they need. So if they need $50,000 to go and get a degree because they can't get a job without it, there it is. That's paid for. Go and do it. Yeah.
So you're basically creating a scholarship foundation.
Yeah. Right. And that's forward thinking for the future. I've got foundational members, I've got the generation of the finances going into this. The people are seeing the benefit out of it. People are having miraculous stories coming back from this, saying, I've done this, I'm now paying it forward. I'm going to start my bit and do that over there. Can I help you? Can I do this? Can I have, as long as it can be proven what they're doing? I'm not going to give out finances willy-nilly. It has to be proven that the money is going to be spent on that, they say. If they have an addiction, they can get the correct support, the professional support they need, and the professionals to go with it. They'll be associated with the platform, with the community, A Million Dreams. Why is it called A Million Dreams? Because it is my vision. The vision that I had when I was 2014, sat on there going, there must be more to life than this. And I came up with this. And this is the start of the creation, the transformation of the creation, A Million Dreams, because this is my vision. It's really profound to sit back and see and watch this happening now. But I love doing what I do. It's no longer a job for me, it's a passion. Once something becomes a passion, you enjoy doing it. Therefore, it doesn't become a job. It's not mundane. Every day is different for me.
Well, that keeps life exciting. Like a lot of these 9-to-5 jobs, going in, coming back, doing the same thing. It's not as exciting, when you get to work with different people, different situations, they present different problems for you to come up with different solutions for. That's rewarding in itself. But also, again, it's exciting because it's not the same person. It's not the same thing. We're not talking about the same information. And usually it's a challenge, and if you're going to be challenging yourself, you're not going to be a perfect person, and it's not going to come out, always exactly how you want it to be. But it's the effort and the experience. And when you put those two together, something powerful is going to happen.
I mean, there's an old saying that I use quite a lot, I don't know where it came from. I can't tell you. But we're perfectly imperfect. And that's enough for us to be an individual. You're never going to be perfect. We all have our faults. Recognizing our own faults within ourselves is also so powerful, because you can recognize them and then deal with them and hopefully work on them. If you're mature enough and confident enough to work on them, the more we do that and recognize we are perfectly imperfect, which is enough within ourselves. And that statement is so powerful, recognizing us at a core level.
Well, obviously more people need to listen to you, Baz, because, I know a lot of people that are doing things, and you can tell when people are doing things and when they're not. I've had guests on the show. I've dealt with a lot of music artists and just people in general, friends, family members and stuff. When they're doing something, you can tell when they're serious and they're going full force. And I think you are, sir. I think you're bringing it. And I think that a lot of people are going to benefit that already have, I'm sure, but in the future as well, even more so based on your experience, based on your interactions and your future. So I appreciate you coming here on the show, taking your time out, and we've got a lot of content here, and we'll get that out to people. We'll make sure that they get to listen to it because it can help somebody or a lot of people. And again, the event is free, September 12th, 2020, and he's got online events all the time. So if you miss that one, catch the next one, dealing with different topics in different areas of life, providing solutions. You can find him at BazPorter.com. He's on Instagram, BazPorter40, on LinkedIn, Baz Porter everything. Sign up for the event and get connected with Baz Porter, motivational speaker, energy healer, transformational coach, helping veterans and individuals and businesses realize their true potential. Baz, the mic is yours. Appreciate your time, man. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dan. It's been a privilege and an honor to be here. To all the listeners, thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you want to come over to the event, check the website out. It's www.bazporter.com. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or one of my team. One of us will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you want to sign up for the event, it's PTSD, Faces, Embracing Spirituality. And that's bazporter.com/events. Take care. Thank you very much.